All right, number 19, we have to solve the equation, and we want to check our solutions. You never know, there might be an extraneous solution. All right, and we can check that with a calculator. So for 19, we don't have a quadratic, but we have something that we can treat as a quadratic. How do I know that? A, it's a polynomial. B, the variable appears twice, and in one part, the exponent is 2, and the other variable, the same variable, but other representation of it, it's x to the 4th. So when you have the variable appear twice and the exponents are double or half each other, so like a 1 to 2 or 2 to 1 ratio, that means you could treat it like a quadratic. All right? What do I mean by that? You can let x squared equal a new variable, let's say a, which implies that if you square both sides, x to the 4th would equal x squared. So then you could rewrite this equation as 4a squared minus 65a plus 16 equals 0. Okay? Then we have to solve. So I'm going to factor. I'm going to use the guess and check method. All right, put a -4 here and a -4 there. So that gives me, that's not what I need. So we're going to scratch that. So if I put I know what I need to do. For A. Okay, if I put a -16 here, I would get -64. And then another one there would give me -65a. So there's my factored form. Okay, so that means that if I set this equal to 0, I get a equals 1/4. And if I set this equal to 0, I get a is equal to 16. Now I'm not solving for a, we're solving for x. And we know that x squared is equal to a, so we can substitute that back in. All right, so what a substitution does is it takes a complicated equation and breaks it down into two simpler equations. So we treat it like a quadratic and then plug it back in and solve that equation, and it ends up being another quadratic. So we get x squared is equal to 1/4 and x squared is equal to 16. Take the square root, and you get x is equal to plus or minus 1/2, or x is equal to plus or minus 4. So that gives us 4 answers: 1/2, -1/2, 4, and -4. And that makes sense because this is a 4th degree polynomial. And the fundamental theorem of algebra, which we'll learn formally in chapter 3, is that a polynomial of degree n will have n solutions. Whether they're real, imaginary, repeated, there's going to be 4. So it's a polynomial, 4th degree, there's 4 answers. Okay? And those are your 4. And the book agrees.